Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We're a nonprofit that gets kids excited about math and science. We are working on our 1990 RX-7 with a 94 LT1 out of a Firebird, Pontiac Firebird, Chevrolet Corvette, Chevy Camaro, etc. Today we're continuing our series on our RX-7, on our V8 powered RX-7. In the previous episode, we unboxed this, the optical distributor, or Optispark as it's called, went out on this engine. It's the Achilles heel of this particular engine. The second generation Chevy small block, and Petris Enterprises sent us this beauty. And today we're going to install it. So a couple of notes while installing it is the Petris provides this particular piece of documentation along with it. It's actually comes right on the spine here. Awesome thing about Petris Enterprises Optispark replacements. Number one, if you don't have a vented Optispark, like R94 didn't come vented, the Petris Enterprises one comes vented, and with all the attachments you'll need to make that conversion. So this note, a couple of other things that we mentioned in our previous videos. It's really hard to find a good quality Optispark replacement. Even the AC Delco ones that you'll buy from the dealer or online or whatnot, they're all remanufactured in China. And people have had issues with them. So a couple things to note here is that they've already tested this. They've put thread sealant or thread lock on the rotor screws, as noted here, right? A lot of aftermarket or even the AC Delco remans, you're going to actually have to disassemble the Optispark to put thread lock on it because they forget to do that. So anyways, we're gonna install this here. You can see where it goes. The note here, you basically with the splined Optisparks from the 92 to 94 models, I believe, maybe even 95. I don't know. We have a 94. It's splined over here, and that is actually keyed. Let me see if I can show you on the camera. There's actually one spot on there that is flat versus the rest of it is equally spaced splines. So you will want to line that up accordingly. Just get some scissors or cutters to detach this zip tie, hold in the vacuum line, because that will need to sit flush. Alright, so okay, so let's get this installed. So we'll want to make sure that this is properly keyed, and actually, yeah, we have a key already in here. We can pull that one out. Alright, so is anybody in here? Alright, so this is the old spline, and where is the flat spot?
Talking to
the camera.
Oh, that's why I maybe brought a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were talking to someone.
Oh, thank you.
Or just for chemical reactions.
All right, we just cleaned up the area, the front timing cover. Just clean that up a little bit. We marked the spline, where that flat spot is on the spline, with a marker. So the orientation of it is actually at about, let's see if I can get on the camera there. It's at about the 3 o'clock range. So this will make getting the new Optispark lined up easier here. So we'll just put this part off to the side. Grab our new Opti. And let's see what the orientation is here. Was this oriented? Oh, actually I had it wrong here. It should be oriented like this. All right, and then we'll just adjust that flat spot here to line up to about the 3 o'clock. There we have it. Right about 3 o'clock. Yes. Okay. So we'll just put these vacuum hangers off to the side here. It's also nice that the new Opti comes with the new wiring harness too. I'm just going to tuck these. Actually, I'm just going to drop them over here, just out of the way. Okay. This is a tight squeeze. Take this out. Remove that coupler. That's probably a better call. Pull the pin out here. Here we go. Put that in first. This light. So I can get back in here easier. Okay. How did I get this out? Crank pulley seems to be in the way here. So how are we going to get this pin in? There we go, but we need to get the drive pin in there. And I don't want to have to pull the crank. Did we pull the crank before? I don't even remember anymore. Maybe we did. Go back to it. Recording footage. This is a tight fit here. Put the hockey Slide pin back in. Oh. This was not attached the whole time. All right. Move this out of the way here. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. I just didn't remember how I did that before. Just noticed some gunk. Need to seal a little bit here. Rubber seal. Surround this. That's great. There's a rubber seal. I'm gonna just put some grease. And now I know why they switched from a spline drive over to a pin drive in the later years of the LT1. Getting this spline lined up was no small feat. Definitely you want to mark the top with like a permanent pen like I did, but even so, it took some finagling to get the spline lined up so that the Optispark would slide in the correct alignment. We got it done though. We will go ahead and just tighten up the screws, plug the wires back in, and we're just going to do a test firing of this motor just to make sure all is good before we remount the water pump with new gaskets and all that sort of stuff. Put the crank back on, crank pulley back on. And also, yeah, we need to get a new belt as well for the alternator. But let us know what you guys think of this video. Again, shout out to Petris Enterprises for actually making an Optispark that is reliable amongst not many solutions out there. So we will get this back on the road soon. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Smash that like button if we've earned it. That subscribe button helps us even more, and we will catch you next time.